Alrighty folks, so it's again, it's Thursday night, about 5 after 10, and I mentioned in that video, you see that all these videos, I'm dressed like this. This is my pajamas these days at night, till it gets really hot out. This is an old beat to shreds long john shirt that I've had for 1,000 years, and they're just very comfortable, you know, so I do dress up and look different during the day, wear a do-rag and shades and whatever, but this is my just real chilled out night clothes. I just warmed up some coffee. I make 2 cups in the morning. I make a pot with just 2 cups, and I drink like a half a cup in the morning with my breakfast. I might heat up the remaining half after I walk the dog in the morning, heat that, and then now I'm having this at night, because I'll probably stay up till 1, usually 1:30 is my typical, because I'm retired and I don't care. Alright, so we're going to do part 2 on the A minor pentatonic. So on part 1, you'll have to look at that I just did an hour ago. I went up to basic pentatonic, the fact of that it's on the entire fretboard. You know, that type of thing. I went over those, then I went over doing them in a 6 count, and a 5 count, and a 3 count. There's also another 5 count and a 4 count. I'll do a little bit of those just in the first block. But get those, all the blocks down. The 6 count was... Do it in all the blocks as I did in part 1. I showed you the fingers you should use in that part 1. And then the 5 count. That kind of thing. What you do is you develop the coordination of the right and left hand, alternate pick, and also you can use economy picking on the odd note pieces. Again, you got to look at part 1. I'm trying to move forward on to the next thing. Then the 3 count. In all the blocks, you should want to learn so you can execute all of those just as easy in any one of the blocks. You don't want to favor any one place. You don't want to favor any certain fingers. You want to use what I did in part 1. And then, so now we'll do the other 5 count. The 5 count that I did in part 1 was, you can start with this note, or that doesn't matter what note you start with, just do 5 notes. Once you either descend or ascend, do 5 notes, and then, you know, go back to the second string you did. You could start, I did them starting with what I call the front note, the note this up towards the neck, I mean towards the body, and then I went down from there like this. Alright, and then, but you can also do them this way. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just 5 notes, same principle, but on that one you're going from string to string, which means you're starting on the high E, then you're going to the B string, then the G, then the D. Whoop. So there, now you got 5 counts starting at this side of the block, A minor, everything's A minor. And then you do a 5 count starting at this side. Then there's also a 5 count where you go note to note instead of string to string, where you start out with a 5 count, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you start with the second note that you first played. So in this case, so you're going down actually 5 notes and you're going back to the second note you played each time. So each time you're just going down one new note at a time. Okay, so there you go. You got a couple of new 5 counts you can do. And again, what this is for is you're going to hear what they sound like, first of all, in each block. This is about creativity, all my videos. So you're going to hear things when you do them. Do them as slow as you have to. Slow, you got to do them, but get the proper, what I instructed on how to do them, each one. What happens is you're developing coordination with the right and left hand, with the 6 count, the 3 count, there's 3 different 5 counts. Well, actually on the 6 count, you can do many other things with it too. I did it starting with this front note. I call that the front and I call that the back. Going. You could do that starting here too. And just do 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. It's unlimited, really. And then you can do a 4 count. So you're just doing 4 and going back to the second note you played, or the string. String to string again would be on a 4 count, starting on the high E, then staying at the B and starting doing 4 there. Then you could also do the note to note. I never really do those, but they're available. Again, all they're doing, you're developing a coordination to how to execute in many different ways, instead of just doing all your riffs, just walking up or down the scale. You know, that's fine too, but you're going to run out of things to say, and it's going to sound repetitive if you're trying to play to an entire track instrumentally, you know, just going... whatever. You know, you can do that, but if you got all these other things, you can start going, oh, I'll do a little of this here, a little bit of this over here, and you sprinkle it and you can create, you know, and have different things to say. All right, so, and then this is all A minor pentatonic. This is part 2. So I already did part 1. You'll have to watch that one to understand where I started at. I gave you all the blocks going up the fretboard. And then I gave you the, 5 count and the 3 count and the 6 count. Then there's also hammer-on pull-off stuff. So I did all this all picking, either alternate or use some economy picking. But then you also got hammer-on pull-off. We'll start with the 6 count. Do the 5 count because that's what I most often do when I create phrasing and stuff. They're uncomfortable at first, but if you want to get good, you know, the more of this stuff that you make yourself get down, the better, you know. Baby finger is being used a lot here, okay? Now, when I get into creating phrasing or I want to get more notes involved, I do a lot of 3 notes on the first string, and I do a lot of pull-on. And I start throwing in flat 5s and all that stuff when I create a finished product, if you will. These things that I'm teaching are just give you more things. And then besides the pull-off thing, there are 5 count too with that. This is all pull-off. And I'm picking all down with those. You don't need to alternate pick on the pull-off stuff because you've got time. Alright, so you got those you can do. And then there's 2-string stuff. This is all A minor pentatonic. And starting up on the high E. Then the other way. Then the next 2 strings. Now you just play them as slow as you have to get them done. But again, it's about listen to what they sound like. And don't bother with a metronome unless you're going to play metal and you already can play and you want to get your speed up to, to 200 or 180 instead of 100, or whatever. For me, I'm looking for what things sound like and then taking those things that I end up hearing by doing these things I'm showing you and then adding them into my playing when I create stuff. So you got the 2-string. What? No, I hacked up some like that one. But you're not necessarily going to use that whole thing. You might if you can get some real good speed with them. But you might use a piece of it. You might mix in some of the hammer-on pull-off stuff. Kind of thing. Move from box to box. Now, I lost track of what time I started this. I got to keep it under 15 minutes or the YouTube, it won't download it. It'll work at downloading. I'll sit there for 10 minutes waiting for it to download, and it'll say 90% downloaded, and then all of a sudden it'll get to the end, and if it found that it was 15 minutes and 16 seconds, it'll kick it out. It'll come up red saying video too long. Okay, so there you go. This is part 2. So the hammer-on thing also, do it going up. And, just go up the regular. And just create phrasing that way. So there you go. This is to kind of build on the part 1 a little bit. There's a tons. It's unlimited. I could go on with just that A minor pentatonic for a week and do a lesson every night and just dent. But this would help you playing tremendously and to add to your creativity.